Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, our Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, our fourth President, Uhuru Kenyatta, leaders of government, including many cabinet ministers here present.
He was a philosopher. Maybe Paul was a political prisoner, or Paul was just wrongfully accused. And Paul, the Roman citizen, had asked for a trial, and therefore he was taken to Rome to be there under house arrest. And finally, from there, he was executed. He was beheaded. Poor people, people without a stable residence, considered to be a public nuisance, bore the brunt of what we would call casual administrative violence, as well as short-term imprisonment under local magistrate who just want to keep the peace. We must accept that Paul inhabited, as it sometimes is called, Paul inhabited a whippable body, one that could be hit or be locked away by the local authorities without too much of noise, with impunity. You could imprison people very easily for some kind of vague accusation like disorderly conduct. Paul's treatment was the same for many in ancient Rome, especially if you were poor, homeless, or of an ethnic group that marked him as a part of an occupied people. Which is to say, Paul looked a lot like those who get over-policed and thrown into jail today, not only in Kenya, but all over the world. And even today, many of our judicial systems contribute to the same. Some of our people will be thrown into prison for relatively minor violations, while others, especially for crimes that involve more than 10 million shilling, or those who have powerful friends, they will never make it to prison. You might have committed a heinous crime, but you will be able to escape prison unscathed. There is a saying that the law is the same for everybody, but not everybody is the same for the law.
Oh, where is he? I'd love him to come up here. Come up here, because I know I'll recognize you. I've seen these halls from Standard 3. Ah, Karibu, I've seen him. Yes. Tony, come up. Tony. Is there anybody else? Come on. Yeah. I can say many things, but I see cameras and I'm scared of cameras these days. So I could tell you many things that I've learned in this school. Many things that I've learned in this school. And I 3 days ago, I took the credentials of the Irish ambassador to Kenya. No, Irish. The Republic of Ireland to Kenya. And this was, he was back here because they had closed the embassy in 1998 and he was back. So after he did his formal readings and everything else, so we went through and he pulled me on the side and he said, he told me, I understand we have a common background. So I'm like, yeah, we do. Do you have any knowledge of the Holy Ghost fathers? I said, I really do. Great fathers, strict, but really, and I say that from the bottom of my heart, the people who were genuinely interested in developing the human being and making us who we are today. Yeah? And that I give them credit for, and I'm not ashamed to say that. And truly, when I remember Father Cormac, when I remember Conk, Father Ellis, when I remember Cox, and all these great people who were there, people who were really interested in education, people who were really interested in making us blossom to be who we really could be. And as I see you here, I think we're all here for one thing: to help this school, to help the administrators of this school make this school once again a great school. Yeah? And the only reason I'm here, aside from standing beside Tony and Wanamutizo here Kipara, lakini ni sawa tuko sawa, is really just to encourage you that each and every one of us, let's do what we can. Let us help the school. Just as much as I will say, my competitors, my childhood enemies, Lenana, Nairobi, let us all build our schools back again. It's our responsibility. Yeah? Let us get them to be what they used to be. Let us make them be what they used to be. And in whatever little contribution you can, tusaidiane, jameni. It's your children, my children, and even if they're not your children, all Kenyans' children are your children. You're marching